In this episode of Cassius Tales, we had a fast and mostly enjoyable ride, and even savored some of the recently caught tuna. But unfortunately, our luck didn't last long.
I don't know what to do.
75.2 miles to Anchorage.
Oh, yeah. Today we are going to leave Mozambique and we're going to head down to Rudder. Now, very important is what we're going to do is we're going to try and find the Mozambique current again. My guess is as we're coming down, we're going through this section here, and that I think that we should follow this track here that runs down, I would say, the Mozambique current, and it hugs the land. And I think that's the way it runs. So we're going to come out and try and find that and run down. That's what I'm trying to aim for. Keep tuned, subscribe, give us a like, for God's sake, ask questions. Thank you. That's it. Let's go down. Let's go down while sailing.
And what is the average on?
We've got tuna we caught the other day. I'm leaving it in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. I find that leaving tuna in the fridge for 2 to 3 days turns the colour of it and actually softens it to like butter. So I'm just going to wash down with some fresh water and patting it off dry for our sashimi. I'm trying to figure out cut across the grain. It's so soft. It is like butter. Look at the colour of it inside. It's going to be so tender.
That is plenty actually.
We've been to Japan many times together, chasing the best sashimi. But this, what we've actually got, is pretty damn close. Dissolved. Mozambique current runs from north to south, but along the sides of it, around the edge, the current sort of goes up in the other direction. The wind's only doing 13 knots, but it's just terrible conditions at the moment. And once again, I'm trying to find the current again. Jeez, there, off we go again. So I'm doing this like a washing machine. If I had it on autopilot, the helm was doing this. And we can't have it doing that. It's going too hard. So I'm going to have to hand steer all the way through tonight. But luckily Zhenya's made a great lobster pasta for us. Thank you, Zhenya. And we'll keep you posted and see what happens tomorrow morning.
Alright, it's 2 in the morning. My shift just started. Richard's going to have some rest. The conditions are not as great as they were for today. The wind has really picked up and we've got a nasty wind waves that are building up and splashing onto our stern deck. A lot more bumpy, a lot less comfortable. Yeah. Looking forward to sunrise, to be honest.
I've just woken up and it's been a terrible sleep. Let's see what Zhenya's been doing. See, Zhenya's already been here to make some breakfast. Morning. How was your shift?
Hello, Cap. Wasn't too bad actually. I had expected it's going to be worse, but luckily the wind dropped off a bit and the sea has flattened, and just after sunrise the wind started picking up again and the waves are stacking. So we're just going through these phases. Not too bad. We're dealing with it. It's a little bit bumpy down below with the side swell, so I bet you didn't have a good sleep.
Well, no, I didn't have a good sleep. So when I was on shift, it was the wind waves just keep picking up, lifting the swell and just dropping it down on top of us. And all the boats were fully full of water. So you didn't have much of that last night?
No, well, a little bit at the start, but then everything just sort of settled down a bit.
Okay.
Let's hope today's going to be a bit smoother ride.
Well, it's looking a bit better.
Right, so coming out of the Mozambique last night, we were experiencing some unpleasant conditions with a bit of a side swell and confused seas, which didn't make sense because the wind wasn't strong. So we had a look at our East Africa pilot book.
But we were out here a bit too far and we're hitting this little counter current that was swirling us. So instead of trying to get to the current, we were actually pushing up against it. So I've decided to make a turn virtually at 180 degrees and it just flowed.
We assumed that the current will run strong in deeper water, but it's not the case with Mozambique current.
It's not. It actually runs hundreds of coast. That's what we should have done last night. So this is why I've made a course correction, and now look at it. We're just cruising in the current. Oh, the wind's up. The wind just got up now, and to a reaching winds. Let's go and check out what's going on, alright? Dead knots. I'm not overpowered.
Let's just run with it for a couple of hours because we had a pretty slow run this morning and earlier today. We even had to motor for an hour. So let's just run with it so we can make up some of the lost time.
I'll just check the engines and they won't start, won't turn off. But we fix it again, I think.
Not in the wood. Where's the wood here?
There's the wood. There's no wood on this boat. Last 24 hours, Jen.
Yay!
Why aren't you looking at me? What's going on? Fishing time! The sun's out and we're going to go fishing. It's not so choppy, it's good.
It's really
We were enjoying the fast downwind sail and already counting down the miles to the next anchorage. But the sailor's luck once again abandoned us.
We've noticed that we can't steer the boat properly and we're trying harder and harder to pull it to the starboard and there was no go. So finally we just worked out that the actual bracket that holds the steering shaft has come loose. So only one rudder is working at the moment.
Oh.
That's why we can't get to course. I've got to put it into a central state with the steering rod, and I've got to get my rudder dead straight, which I don't know how because I've got to get in the water. Let me have a think about it. Let me have a look. This thing fell. Look.
It's turning, but it's not turning the steering arm.
Yeah. Oh, the bracket's broken. Oh no, Jen.
What's that mean?
It's snapped. Oh no. We're without steering again. Oh shit. Oh shit. Once again, Mozambique Channel has claimed another rudder of ours. The whole rudder arm's broken.
It's not going to fall out now, is it?
The rudder won't fall out because we have a stopper which I've got stuck in there. Oh. It will not fall out. Problem is, we can't grip it to turn it.
So what we're going to do?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. The whole bracket's gone. So there's another bracket goes around here and the shaft goes down it. That snapped off on the weld.
Crisis update. We're 75 miles from the nearest anchorage, Bazaruto. We still can steer. We still can get some speed with the sail and the current. And Richard is trying to devise a temporary solution to hold the bracket together until we get to Bazaruto on anchorage. Thing is, Bazaruto there's nothing there, just a couple of lodges and a village, so I doubt we can find a welder there. But at least we need to get to the anchorage safe and sound. And we're going to be coming into a narrow channel in darkness, so we kind of need to have reasonably good steering. We hate Mozambique Channel. Never again. Remember we said it last time, never again.
Yeah. No, never again, Jane.
Super duper lucky. This actually happened during the day and the conditions are very light. There's barely any swell and there's barely any wind. Can you imagine? We're beating into 20 knots. Whew. Usually all the bad stuff goes down at night, so at least that's not the case. 75.2 miles to the anchorage.
Oh cow. I'm actually making my own thread. That piece is snapped off. 2 holes into that, bolting into it, into there like this. Strong as an ox. Strong. We're joining together, bolt, bolt, boom, done.
The bracket was reinstalled, but then we faced another challenge.
So what happens was, the rudder was going, here's one rudder, here's the other rudder, and what it's doing, this one was straight and this one was like this. So it was kind of skewering out. Right. So we were trying to find the centre point, and then Jen and I decided, hey, why don't we just turn this rudder full port, and I'll turn that rudder full port, find that's the centre point, and bolt it off.
You use this as a point of reference.
And I used sandpaper in the centre on the shaft and on that bracket, back to back, just for some grip, so I don't have to tighten it off too much. And it's working. So we're done. We're sailing again, Jen.
Oh my god, autopilot is reconnected, steering is on, it is such a relief.
After that, it was just a few more hours and we were safely tucked away for the night behind Bazaruto Island.
2 in the morning and we're in Bazaruto in Mozambique.
It was safely arrived on anchorage just then, just dropped anchor. Exhausted.
Exhausted, yeah, speechless. But we are 2/3 of the way to South Africa, so I'm pretty rapt about that.
Getting there.